Hi, this is Melissa with A Creative Journey with Melissa, and today I wanted to show you how to create this card. Now what I'm actually showing you is the technique that is so super duper simple. A lot of people have been commenting on it and how much they love it. So I wanted to show you how easy it is and how practical it is and how you can reuse packaging material and make it look really cool on a card. So what I'm going to be doing is I have a lot of this already pre-done as far as to make the card itself, just so you don't have to sit through that. We have a fantastic, I cannot even emphasize enough, fantastic Coffee Lovers Blog Hop that we are participating in. It is a week long. You can win prizes from a whole bunch of different sponsors, phenomenal sponsors, and we are one of the very honored sponsors to be a super sponsor as well as a flash prize sponsor. So you can not only win with the hop itself, but you could also win on our blog. So if you check out the YouTube area, I will show you the link to this post so you'll be able to check it out. And you're going to love it. There are so many great creators and so many great things going on. It is going to maybe take you a week to go through all the fantastic creativeness that's going on. Okay, so with that said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to make this card. Okay, and really what I want to emphasize on is this part right here. Okay, this here is a piece of packaging material that I took from a sizzix die and I embossed it. That is all I did. It is not difficult. It is super, super, super friendly, super easy to do, and I know you're going to love it, okay? So I want to show you how I do it so that you don't think that there's any gimmicks or tricks or anything. It's super easy, super fast, and you can use it with any embossing folder. And not only that, I do have a video where I used ink, and I also have used paint, I believe. I think I have that one up as well. When you use it with embossing, and it leaves a very cool textured mark as well as an imprint like you're inking it. So it's like a stamp and embossing all at the same time. So there's a number of things you can do with embossing folders. This is just one. So be sure to check out my YouTube videos. I have a number of different ideas on there that I've created from before. Okay, so this here is the card. And what we have here is coffee. It saves lives. I don't know if you're a coffee drinker, but if you are, you definitely know that there's been a number of people that have had their lives saved because you had your coffee. I will personally say this is true. So with that said, we're going to show you how to do this cute little thing here. Everything else I already have pre-set up so that I can just show you how to put the card together, because really what I want to show you, like I said, is the technique of doing this embossing. Okay, so we're going to put this aside. I'm going to show you what you're going to need. Now, just before I actually get started, I'm going to show you exactly what I used. This here is a sizzix die, okay? It doesn't matter what die you have. It doesn't matter what you have. It's the packaging that we're going after. This here, this plastic part, okay? This is what I took, and what I do is I cut it apart and I store it a little bit smaller so it's more user-friendly. So what I end up with is 2 sheets like this, okay? So what I did was I took this sheet, not this one specifically obviously, but I took this sheet and what I did is I cut it to the right size that I needed. Okay, so now I'm going to show you what you're going to need for this creation. First you're going to need our stamp set that is Coffee, Tea, and Wine Oh My. I love this set. It's really cute. It has a lot of really funny phrases, and I hope you like it, especially Coffee, It Saves Lives. And yeah, cool story, but first wine or coffee or whatever. Really funny. And I actually quite enjoyed creating it. So we have our twine. We have our embossing folder. This is a Tim Holtz coffee cup embossing folder. Okay. And then we have our piece of packaging that we're going to be using for the embossing. Okay. So we'll put that there. We have our corner rounder. We have our foam dots. I'm sorry, foam squares. I really, honestly, there's something with me that I have a block that I do not like to say foam squares. I don't know what it is, but someday maybe it will be rectified. If not, I know you appreciate the humor in it all, because just about every video I say foam squares. I guess it's because I just can't, what do they say, like a mule can't be, a donkey can't change their, I don't know. At any rate, yes, you get to hear what's in my brain as it comes out. At any rate, so we have all these parts here for the card. Okay, and then this here I already pre-colored, so we basically just need these parts here, and of course you'll need your sizzix die cut machine and the proper platforms, okay? So these are the items that you'll need. Here, let me flip this around so it's a little bit more easy to see, okay? So what we're gonna do is, the first thing we're gonna do is we're going to start by embossing. And this is really super duper simple. So let me put everything else aside. We'll put that back together in just a little bit. So what I did was, like I said, I took one of the pieces of packaging, and you can even look at it. There's nothing really, I mean, it's not super duper, you know, perfect, or there's really a couple scuffs on it and stuff. But honestly, when you put it through the die cut machine to emboss it with the embossing folder, it doesn't matter. You're gonna love it. So with that, I'm going to bring up my sizzix Big Shot, and we're gonna place this piece right inside. Try to make it a little bit even, and I pre-cut it so it would fit, and so it was the size that we needed for our project. So that's in there, okay? Here, there, and then we'll put it right in there, okay? So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna open this up, and we're going to place our sizzix embossing folder on top of the platform and on top of the sandwich sheets here, which I believe is, I can't remember what these are called. Isn't that silly? We'll call it a platform piece, because I'm not sure right now, and I don't think you want to wait until my brain decides to kick in. Maybe I should have checked to make sure it was working before I started doing this video, right? At any rate, so we have our little platform, our platform cover, our embossing, the material, the other platform, and we're all set, okay? So all you're going to do is you're going to take your sizzix die cut machine. You're going to place it in there. Place that so it fits like this. Okay. And now you're just going to start rolling it through carefully. And it sounds like it's going to crack or something, but it's fine. Okay. So now we're just going to pull it out. And I'm taking off the platform here so you can see this is directly right from what I did. There's nothing fancy to it. This is exactly what I did. There's no gimmicks, no nothing, and the outcome is so cool. I just really wanted to show you. And like I said, I had a number of people comment on it, so I thought I would do it on here for our video this week, okay? So here we go. I'm gonna put this away. Now, this is what you will get once you finish embossing. That is how cool it looks. I mean, you really cannot go wrong with that. I mean, that is so, not only did Tim Holtz do a great job on his embossing folder, which he did. You gotta admit it, it's great, it's awesome, I love it. But look at that embossing. It is so cool. And imagine a little ink or paint, or oh my gosh, there's so many things you can do with this. I can't even begin to say. So we're gonna keep this out since we already created that part. And now we're gonna simply just put this card together. So we're gonna bring all of our pieces back out. Okay, and we also need the scissors. I forgot to put those out. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to corner round the card, and the corner rounder, I forgot, here it is. Okay, so we're just going to take the ends and we're going to corner round them. This, if it wants to work. It may not want to work today because sometimes it does that to me. Oh, it worked, yay! Sometimes it doesn't. Now there are a number of different corner rounders you can use. This is a Creative Memories corner rounder. As you may know, Creative Memories isn't really in business anymore, but it is one of my favorite corner rounders, and I actually have a couple of them, and I love to use them. You can also use the Big Chomp. I think that is by We Are Memories, or I'm not sure who it's by. But there's a number of different corner rounders that you can do 2 pieces at once, but sometimes it's difficult and it doesn't want to go through. So if that happens, don't worry about it. Sometimes it does, okay? So what we're going to do is we did the corner rounding, so that's the first part we did, okay? Now what we're going to do is we're going to take this piece right here, which is the yellow one, okay? I like the texture side, so we're just going to put some foam squares on the back. Hey, I remembered! It's a miracle. She can be taught. Okay, so we're just going to put some foam squares along here. And we just want to make sure that there's enough support so that it doesn't get squished. And there's also one more thing we're going to need. I'm not sure if I pulled it out. I think I did. I think I have it out, but I will have to check. Let me check my little drawer right here. Oh, here they are. I have some glue strips, and I found that this really works well with this project. You could use glue dots, you could use really anything. Now, you're probably thinking to yourself, how on earth is she going to put that on there and not be able to see the adhesive? Well, that's the trick. You're right. I have not found an adhesive, and if anybody knows an adhesive that works really well with clear decorations or whatever, please let me know, because I would love to find one. But since I haven't, I have done a workaround, and what I've done is actually glued in part, or at the part where it is covered. So you can't even see the glue, but there is glue, and it is visible if you weren't covering it up with your sentiment. So let's just pull these cuties off. I think I'm almost done. I think I have 2 or 3 more left. Apologize for the time. Maybe I have more than 2 or 3 left. Okay, that's done. Sadly, with and without the glue cover, it looks the same. They're both shiny, so I'm having a hard time telling whether I've done it or not. Isn't that silly? Okay, so I've done all those. And what we're going to do is just make sure that it's centered here. We're going to center it right on here and make sure that looks good. Okay, now I used foam squares on my last project on my sample, but they weren't as high as this. These I actually thought might be a little bit better, so that's why I used them. All right, so now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take adhesive, these strips, or let's see what they call them. Adhesive strips, 32 feet. They are by Thermoweb. These are kind of, I bought quite a few of them. I'm not sure if they still carry these or not. If they do not, you can use glue dots. But I personally like these because I had an idea of what I was going to use them on and figured I would just use these. So it comes in this or and that, and you can just use them away. So I'm just going to cut a few pieces off so I can apply it. I'm going to apply it like a rectangle, and then we will put it on, and I will show you where I put it on. Okay, so we can put this aside. We're going to use the scissors on the twine string right there in a little bit. So you can do one of 2 things. You can put it on the actual paper, or you can put it on here. It really doesn't matter. When I created it originally, I put it directly onto this, but I'm just going to put it on over here because I'm going to. I don't really know why. I'm being a rebel, I guess. Okay, so then we're going to just put this right here. We're just making a little bit of a rectangle that will be covered by this when we put that on, so that we can make sure that this sticks. Okay. All right, and you can always add, you know, us creatives, we always like to add a little bit of an embellishment or something like that. If you ever have a situation where you, where you want to use this, this type of technique with the clear embossing, you can always put like a cute little button on top, or maybe a little phrase on top, change your layout just a little bit so that you can still use it, but you'll be covering up the clear part where you have used adhesive. Again, if anybody knows the secret on how to use adhesive without having it show through, please let me know. I would love you for it. So you can choose to either, on this embossing here, you can choose to use the flat side or the poked out side. So I'm going to use the poked out side. That's just because that's what I want to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place it right on top of here, and it fits just about perfectly. So I'm just going to push in where the glue is, and as you can see the little rectangle of where the glue was. Okay, so you don't necessarily want that to be on your creation. So the good news is we are going to be putting on something on top of that, so we won't have to worry about whether or not it shows through. So with that, I am going to take my white foam squares that I have, 2. These are the smaller ones, and I'm going to put some adhesive on the back. We'll just put a few of them here, just for a little bit of lift. Okay, and then we're going to put this right on top. Okay, so I think we're going to use it like this. So we're just going to place it right on top of there, make sure it's centered. Looks good. Okay, and then with this piece of paper, here's the sample. I should have pulled that out for you. Put these away. There's the sample, so you can see exactly what it's going to look like. All right, and so what you do is you're going to take the corner rounder again, and you're just going to corner around these two sides. Okay, so we'll just do that and that. Oops, and that's what we're looking for. Okay, now I did realize just now that I put the string on before I adhered that. Okay, so I'm going to try to do this without doing it that way. I'm just going to put it around the whole card. All right, so we'll show you that in just a second. Let's place this right on here, and as you can see here, I colored it myself, and I used chameleon markers and markers, pens. Again, I just can't keep my words correct. It's chameleon markers, chameleon pens. They're alcohol-based pens, and they're fantastic. I love them. We actually have them on sale right now. And you're welcome to check them out at www.acjwm.com or www.acreativejourneywithmelissa.com. And that is where you can find all the fantastic goodies we have. So with that, we're going to put this cutie on there. We're going to take the backings off of these foam squares. Again, twice in one video I actually said the right thing. How is that possible? Do you think I'm actually learning? Yeah, I didn't think so either. Anyway, so we've got this here. This looks pretty good. I'm going to just push it down. Okay, now we don't need this anymore. The only thing we need is the string here and our scissors. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, sometimes when I'm doing these videos, well, for one, I like to tell you that I don't edit them, as you can tell. Otherwise, trust me, they'd sound a lot better than they do. But I wanted to actually, when I did these videos, I wanted to make sure that you guys knew that I was actually doing this in real time, that you can do this. It's not too difficult. Sometimes it could be trying, but definitely doable, especially this one. This is really pretty quick. So when I make mistakes like this is just showing you another way that you can get the same look with a different, in a different way. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, rather than pull this all apart, I'm just going to open it up. I'm going to take my string and just hold it here so I have enough room for it to be tied and put on a bow when I need it. I'm going to wrap it up once. Whoops. Let's try that again. I'll wrap it up once, and then twice, and then we come back around. So that's the 3. Okay. We'll just move these cuties over a little bit so they're where I wanted them. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to tie it right here, and we're going to tie a little bow. Now, people do different bows, they do them different ways, etc., etc. Well, I personally like to do the rabbit ear bow because to me it seems like it works the best, so that's what I'm going to be doing right here. So I do a little rabbit ear with this one, and a little rabbit ear with this one, and then I tie it and pull it. You don't want to pull it too fast or too much because it may ruin the bow. So then I always overdo it a little bit, and then I pull it back so it has the look that I like. Okay, now as you can see, I have quite a bit of over string there, but first I want to separate it a little bit for the look that I have on the other one. Doesn't have to be perfect, doesn't have to be exactly the same, but for tutorial sake, I figured I'd do it pretty similar, minus my mistake. Okay, so let's trim this right here, and we're going to trim this right here, and that's not needed anymore. And now you have the second version of this card. So I really hope that you enjoyed this tutorial today. The most important thing is know that even if something looks difficult or you think that, gosh, there's no way I can't do it, I'm not creative, I'm not crafty, you can do it. It is possible. And you know what? I'm going to scoot this. I realized before that I didn't do it all the way the same. I actually kind of like it like that too. So just a little change. We call that scrap lifting or card lifting, which is basically someone does a card and you basically, you know what, I love that, but I'm going to do a little change to it. So you take the idea and you run with it. And that is how creatives find new and fantastic ways to do things. And I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope that you will definitely use your embossing folders and look at them in a new light. I hope you enjoyed today. Please be sure to subscribe to our blog and our YouTube channel, and we hope that you have a fantastic day. And please make sure that you go through the blog hop. There are tons and tons of prizes, and trust me, you will be very, very happy. And it's open to the it's not just the United States, it's open all over the place. So please feel free to check it out. And again, thank you for joining us, and we hope you enjoyed going on a creative journey with Melissa. Have a great day. Thanks. Bye-bye.